So it's been over a week now since Autodesk announced those changes to the free license of Fusion 360, and you didn't need to call on Nostradamus, mate, to predict that it would have been met with mixed reactions, and wasn't ever met with mixed reactions ranging from upset through to incandescent with fury, through to childish abuse in a lot of cases, which buried all the constructive criticism which Autodesk needed to read. But they read it, they got the message, and they decided to make a change to one of the nerfs. So as of October the 1st, when these changes were due to be rolled out, the free license of Fusion 360 will, in fact, still be able to export models to a step file from Fusion 360 and from Fusion Team. Repeat, as of October the 1st, the free license of Fusion 360 will still be able to export models to a step file. That change has been reversed. So that's the news. That's just been announced this morning. Call it a gesture of goodwill if you want. I don't know. Some people may say it's not gone far enough. You know, I don't think this is definitely not going to keep everyone happy, but it's something. I don't think it's worth using this as a platform to then shout louder about the other issues. This is likely the one and only thing that they're going to back down on. But it's happened. That's the change. October the 1st, you'll still be able to export your models to a step file. They felt that this was the biggest issue that was affecting most people, the biggest deal breaker in the maker community. So that's been done. So that's all you needed to hear. That's the news. I'm going to wrap this up with just a few comments myself. I feel quite invested in this. So I had planned on doing a third video after the first two that I did last week. So last week I did the proper formal announcement video for the changes where I whipped out the good camera. I very rarely do that. And I had a second opinion piece talking about it. This week I planned on doing collate all the comments, all the feedback from people and then talk about it, present like a broad spectrum of people's opinions and then talk about it all. Poking the bear seems like an appropriate expression. Some people just are stubbornly irate about this, and unreasonably so in a lot of cases, but the genuine personal users that are affected by this have come to light. And yeah, those are the guys that I really do feel bad for. So I wanted to kind of bring those to the surface as well and talk about those, but I couldn't do that without also highlighting the other side of it. And I just feel like that would be putting myself in the firing line too much. I don't really want to get involved any further with that. If I'm honest, not my fight. Some of the comments have been absolutely ludicrous, you know, just F you Autodesk, and how can you remove functionality from something that didn't have any functionality? There goes my ability to do anything. Yeah, I read someone saying, how can Autodesk even still be spending money on development at this point on Fusion 360? Surely they've done all the development and they can now give it away for free. Genuinely, someone came onto the Autodesk forums and said that. It just blows your mind that some people say that with such self-confidence and belief that they're right. And it makes you wonder how these people have such self-confidence. They've got no one in their lives to slap them down and say, stop talking and think before you talk, because you're so off the mark. It's ridiculous. You need to stop making an absolute arse of yourself. And you start to lose, when you read through so many of these comments, you start to lose track of whether the comments are coming from people like that or from genuine affected customers. And that's the problem here that I'm trying to kind of portray. Yeah, the affordability argument is one of the issues that I took particular issue to, but that's definitely not one that I want to get too far involved in, because look, if someone's going to come on a public forum and unprompted voluntarily state that they can't afford a bit of software, then they are making their personal finances everyone else's business. But I don't really want to go into individual circumstances and sort of start contradicting them by going into the history of their comments and stuff and saying, well, actually, this doesn't seem compatible with what you're saying. I don't really want to do that. There will genuinely be a lot of people using Fusion 360 who can't afford to buy it. But in a lot of cases, I feel like people are just whipping out that as a card that they feel they can't be challenged on, because people can't see their bank statements, obviously. So it's like, you can't challenge me on this. I'm saying I can't afford it. You've got no right to say that I can. How could you possibly say that I can? When in fact, what they actually mean is they would rather spend the money on something else. You know, they'd rather not because they didn't have to, which is okay. That is a perfectly valid argument that I'd feel okay with using. So yeah, I think that card has just been overused a bit too much. But I'm not going to go into it any further than that. So we'll leave it there. The change has been made. Step files are now active. You can now continue to export to step files from Fusion 360 as of October the 1st. So that change has been reversed, which is a good thing. Won't keep everyone happy, but hopefully it'll alleviate a lot of the issues that people were seeing with there. Hopefully people won't move on to another issue and just kind of make that the focal point instead. But that's that's the internet. I'm not naive. That's just how the internet is. But yeah, there you go. That's the news. Hope you found it helpful. Thanks very much. And I'll see you in the next one. Doodles.